I think he's one of the finest new writers in New York. He's really terrific. I think he's got... I wish he had a much bigger audience. I feel sure that he will have a much bigger audience shortly. And this was one of my favourite things that he put on the last album that he had out. And Carlos Alomar and myself decided it would be a great piece of music to do our own version of. So I did it as sort of a nod of the head to Ronnie Spector, really, very slightly. Somebody else that I admire tremendously. Yes, that was very kind of him. He came down and listened to it and decided that he would like to play on it, so he did. Oh, that's a love song. There you are. There's not much more I can say about that. It's I guess I've adopted the role of a sort of an old roue in that one, looking down on these two young mad things and knowing that it's all going to sort of fizzle out. God, I'm a depressive person, aren't I? The overall feeling of the way I've worked with It's No Game at the end of the album was to... What happens when a protest or an angry statement is thrown against the wall so many times that the speaker finds that he has absolutely no more energy to give it any impact anymore, and so it comes over on that very sort of lilting, very melodic kind of superficial level. The sentiment is exactly the same as in the first one on the first side, but the ambience has changed. It's a gentle, sort of almost nostalgic kind of thing, quality to it, rather than the very angry, vehement statement on the beginning of the album. It's the two sides of social protest. Yeah, the cover was again a collaboration between a photographer that I've worked with a number of times, Brian Duffy, the excellent painter Thomas Bell, who's a new young painter in England, and myself, to again produce some kind of the can of worms contained inside the beautiful everyman, the falling apart of what seems like purity. I took myself back to almost, 12, 13 years ago when I was working with a mime company in London, Lindsay Kemp Mime Company. And the character is based very much on the character that Lindsay Kemp created, which was this sort of very, very wonderful looking Victorian clown. And I took that for feeling and then looked inside of that, and that's when you get the dishevelled side of the clown, the two faces of the clown. But it's, yeah, it's again a nod backwards to an element that I started with. One always returns and looks back and incorporates those old things and re-evaluates them from time to time. And this particular period, I was re-evaluating that. I'm always of the opinion that the thing that really holds your ear to modern music are the mistakes. That I find those very interesting, and I would prefer to find the mistakes in a piece of music and build on them, structure them so they become an integral part of the music, which has happened a lot, although you wouldn't know it now. But there's an awful lot of mistakes on that album that I went with rather than cut them out, and the mistakes in themselves became very interesting pieces to work with. As much as is possible these days to put oneself on the line artistically. It's ever since the Dadaists, I think, who pronounced art as dead. Once you've said art is dead, it's very, very hard to actually get more radical than that. So since 1924, it's been dead, so what the hell can we do with it from there on? I mean, it's, you know, one tries to sort of at least keep redressing the thing and looking at it from a different point of view. Thank you very much. It's been my pleasure.